not that hard. We be pulling on these scars while we healing all these scars. Okay. Elemental beings. Hey y'all. Blessings. What's up, Des? Hey. Hey.
Get me.
Right. I don't know what to do. So I call on you. Right. I need help, Lord. Hey, I need help,
Lord.
I need help.
I don't know what to do. So I call on you. I need help, Lord.
Hey.
I need help. I need help, Lord. I need help.
Hey. I don't know what to do. So I call on you. I need help. I need help, Lord. I need help. I need help, Lord. Hey. 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 What's up, Taylor? Hey.
Somebody say the music is medicine. I feel the same way.
Okay.
Okay, look. Matter of fact, let me take y'all on with my wife's favorite real quick, right?
Okay.
Hold on, let me get
The vibration.
Alright, here we go, y'all. That's our theme music right here.
puts you in a trance.
Yes.
Okay.
Does.
That's what it does for me, right?
It don't
Very
even feel
soothing.
like it's me.
You know, very soothing to my mind, body, and spirit. Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well, okay? In good spirits, good energy, and attracting the life you desire because it's your birthright. We're coming through with another live message, okay? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't forget, if you love the video, thumbs up, hit the bell, hit all, so that you're notified when we go live.
I just want to take this time out to say to one of our sisters that be on here, I'm proud of you, and I feel real good about you, and your white hearts, and your arm muscle emojis. I know that's a person behind the board that's a real one.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on here, I just read the energy. I don't get too involved. Unless somebody reach out or something, you know, but I have to stay that way or I won't last here.
Yeah.
I won't be here long. If I get too connected to the things, I just do the best I can do. And, you know, I make sure I stay in a fair and justice type energy. Like that's me, King of Swords all day.
Yeah.
But every now and then you run into a real one and we connect with some real people.
We do.
And that's she always here, right? And I try to do my best for people like you who are always here, right? Yeah, Baltimore, definitely. Born and raised, baby.
What's up?
All right.
How you see? Let me see. No, I can't see. Hill, I can see that at the end.
All right. So look, y'all, this is what we gonna do. We gonna do, me and my wife, we split the what's the tea deck. We gonna see what's the tea. We gonna jump in. We gonna jump in. Get into it.
Hey y'all.
Oh, I had a download. I was refining myself before we got on. So I want to speak about the spirit board to my conscious real sharp. You know, a lot of us, we find ourselves and we stroll on social media, you know. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm a Buddhist monk. Like, I do a fair amount of scrolling. I come across a lot of things, but I learned the tactic, right? And I wanna express it to the collective, people that's connected to us. When I see things and my spirit tell me to go past it now, I go past it. Because we gotta begin to watch what we process, because what you process, you gotta take in. And I'm telling you, I really believe, right, that on a spiritual level, social media is designed to fight against your progress, because all it is a big conglomerate that suggests doubt. Everything you look everywhere you look when you sifting, it's gonna have something to make you question yourself. Like it's gonna have something to make you doubt yourself. So when you processing social media and you going through the feed, you know, TikTok feed, Facebook feed, they feed a lot now, right? It's crazy now. You jump on your feed, things just pop out, right? It seems like it's things that's your subliminal mind. I really do think that they have like some type of sensory that connects to the algorithm of your thought pattern. I think that, right? I mean, I'm not going to say that because I don't know that, but spiritually, I definitely feel that. Like it's some type of link there, because your social media feed, it connects too deep to your subconscious. So you got to be aware of your warfare on that level. Don't just let it feed into your mind. Understand, you fighting against a hidden enemy now, a spiritual enemy. And what better tool to use than your own handheld device against you? You strolling into something, you locked down into something in real life, you locked into it, you get on social media, it's something to make you question it. It's something to suggest doubt about it, right? Then you process it, then you know, so when you see things like that, just go past them. Yeah. Instead of sitting there watching it, you know. All right, so let's jump in and see what we got. What you got over there?
Okay.
All right.
What did I say?
Go to Alpha, man.
Okay. So it's crazy because I was sitting here and I was looking and I was like, well, we had 222 come out this morning. It's back out. So, if you did not catch it this morning, and look, play. Okay. Yeah. So we have travel coming out. I know it's a lot of different things going on, but you could be really trying to focus on, not being in fear, okay? You could still be planning things for you and your family this summer. You could still be wanting to move around and experience nature, right? Even though it's a lot going on. I feel like somebody's just being cautious and aware. It doesn't, you don't have to be afraid, right? You're just being cautious and aware. You could be really desiring to travel. I see somebody's suitcase packed up here, okay? When this card came out, I was thinking about time travel, but I wasn't thinking about it in the sense that you may think. When I was thinking about time travel, I was thinking like, I was feeling like I was seeing you going down your timeline, like traveling throughout life. I don't know, and seeing the great wonders. 222 is coming out. We spoke about this morning. There's some kind of great transformation going on right now. You can feel it in your spirit, Something's happening here. Some kind of major change, opportunities, fast pace, forward movement, and progress. I feel like with the dolphin here, play, okay? While things are changing, right, it's good to have a balance, So, like work and play, I'm seeing someone and, Spirit is saying, lighten up, You're evolving here. So what you want changes as you get more experience. Growth cycles and level up. Okay. I don't know. Something's changing. It's like a major change as well. And I was saying earlier, these things are happening very fast. Okay. You could even be feeling like I was telling my husband, like, it feels like the months are turning into days and, the hours into minutes. You could be feeling like things are moving very quickly.
Everything is so fast.
Yeah. I feel like the entire world is just evolving. And, maybe you can be really taking notice of this. It says that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but a beneficiary. Okay. So that means that, you benefit from the things that you go through. Okay. It's helping you to evolve. And I feel like these cycles that you've been going through, they definitely help you grow in a way that, it brings you to a different level here. Okay. Triple twos is on here. 222 wonders.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna dig into your what's the tea. This what's the tea over here is a little bit more, is in there, right? So it says fake accounts, fake social media accounts to spy Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So all right, we're not gonna focus on that because I'm not about to sit back and just talk about a karmic energy or a person, however you want to describe it. I'm not gonna focus on it. I'm gonna just say this. It could be people watching you from fake accounts. But we already know that. So there's no need to put emphasis on that, right? All right, now, embrace solitude and innovation. Let's get to that because that's the important part. Embracing solitude means learning how to do things alone. Learning how to be alone, make decisions alone, away from the crowd. And it says innovation. For somebody, that's where you're at your most creative. When you can find a space where you can be alone. Innovation is that's the energy that goes along with your solitude. So an innovative mind. And when you have an innovative mind and you need your solitude, you got to learn how to express to the people that you're around, you need some you time. Like, I need to really be alone so I can come up with it. You ever had a problem that you're trying to work on and you got people around you, some of them, they mean well, but you just need to be by yourself to figure it out, right? That kind of energy. You need to have a moment to process a thought without another person's thought attached to it. I mean, because even in a relationship, you need some type of solitude. Like, me and my wife, we need our solitude. We need our time away to our thoughts, to be left alone, and we know that about one another. And everybody, I feel like it's the place where great minds work, in that alone space. So reach for that. It also says coherence, 13. So I really see a lot coming together when you when you can embrace the solitude and maybe not fight against it, right? Sometimes, I guess certain solitude, it could be lonely, I know. But if you lonely at this point in time, or you alone in a lonely place, I feel like it could be something in your energy that you're missing. It could be a reason why you're alone. You could not be ready for something, right? Because I'm telling you, like, being alone, I know what being alone feels like. It's a very lonely space when you're alone. But sometimes when you're alone, if you don't pay attention to what's going on, you will miss the lesson in it. You will start craving things because you're lonely. Then you will bring in something that might not even be for you. So while you're alone, if you are alone, take the time to reach coherence where you can harmonize your thoughts. That's what it says. I'm going to read the frequency of coherence. It says, the footnote. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Yeah. You need to be alone and get it together.
Well, over here I have unbothered. Okay. I have 101 new beginnings. I have dog friend, and I have divine timing. I don't know. I just see, somebody really becoming more spiritually aware of how things work. Okay. You could be really feeling unbothered about situations that you can't control. Some things are just not in our control. And so, I feel like these things are no longer bothering you because, if you can't control the situation and you're upset about it, that's foolish, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
That's like fool's information, foolish behavior.
Yeah.
Okay, we have divine time, and I feel like you're also unbothered because you're starting to understand divine flow. Things happen in divine timing exactly when they should, when they need to. How many times have you wanted something, but if you would have gotten it, it would have ruined you, it would have taken you out, it wouldn't have been the right time, right? But you didn't know at the time that it wasn't the right time, because a lot of times we want things when we want them. We want them right there, right now, instant gratification. We as humans, we love that. That's why we have Amazon Prime, where we can get something the same day because we want it and we want it now. Right? Okay? But I feel like somebody's learning divine timing. Stay in the flow and trust that timing is perfect. Trust, believe, and have faith. Now, to trust, believe, and have faith, those are three hard things to do, constantly. So I feel like, in order for you to constantly be doing this, you have to be in some kind of prayer, meditation, some kind of covenant agreement. And I feel like this could be you. Personal development is showing up with 101. Okay. This could be a new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You are going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. That's why I feel like, you could have been really bothered at one point, but I feel like right now somebody's not bothered, okay? Yes, you may have been bothered at one point. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything, but I feel like in this moment, what's the point? I'm hearing, what's the point? Okay? We got something about the dog here. Dogs are very loyal, so you're showing up very loyal. You can have someone around you that's very loyal. You could be very loyal to people. But we got the dog and friend. I also feel like with friends showing up, there could be new beginnings and friendships. Okay? It's divine timing. Allow things to just flow. Okay? Because, if you have 5 good friends in life, you're doing good, and people desire friendships and relationships because that's what we are designed to do. You can't change the design of human. God intended for us to, need one another. So divine timing, okay? You could even be, older adult, maybe in your 40s, 50s, right? Feeling like, will I ever meet people like me? And God says yes, okay? Yes, you will. Why haven't I met him yet? Because it's not the right time. You're still going through personal growth and development. So if you were to meet some of these people that you want to connect with right now, you might not even be ready. You know how when you're gonna cook that meat, you have to thaw it out first when you take it out from the freezer, right? So you're being thawed out so you can be prepared, right? So you can be cook. Watch me cook. Okay.
I wanted to say, no, I wasn't necessarily saying embrace being alone. The card actually said embrace solitude, and I wanted to clear that up because I don't never want to. You'll never hear me tell nobody embrace being alone because it's not good that we be alone. Mm-hmm. If I embrace being alone, that means that I'm conforming to being alone. Embracing solitude is not the same thing. In fact, a scenario where we embrace solitude is this. I'm alone in my room. I got books that I haven't read. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to embrace solitude, meaning I'm going to use the energy of solitude and do something with it. That's not the same as embracing being alone. Embracing being alone is almost, surrendering to the fact that you don't want to be with anybody. So I'm not saying that. I'm basically saying embrace solitude. Like the card says, put your alone time to work, Over here, this is interesting, right? It says giving money is balled up, so I'm clearly saying somebody throwing a lot of money away, right? Now listen, we're going to talk about it. It says giving money, harmonies call, see what's real, important parts. So, with that being said, you could be easily giving your money away to something or a cause or a person, and I feel a fictitious energy involved because the cards are saying see what's real and harmony's call. And peep the footnote on harmony's call. Embrace equality and pursue justice. Boom. First, stop right there. If I'm giving my money to the wrong thing or the wrong person, wrong cause, that's not equality, it's imbalance, and it's also an injustice. So with this, I really feel like somebody, I don't know who I'm talking to, but you need to watch where you're spending your money, who you giving your money to, right? And make sure you're not harboring a snake in your bosom. Like, make sure you're not allowing your money to go to a person that's looking to cause you, to make you, put you in an unfortunate situation. Just pay attention to where your money is going. And this says important parts. So this is the details of any relationship, right? Important parts. What's the important part? All right, I'm going to speak to this scenario. Somebody call you. Hey, you got such and such, and you give it to them, right? Now, the important part is why are they asking you and why are you giving it? Think about it. Something that you're giving your money to, right? Because in the end, if you don't watch things like this, when you don't have that money to give, that thing that you're giving money to, it can become a crutch in your world. Especially if it's a person. It's like you ever wasted, and I might be going a little bit, but you ever wasted money on somebody and the least you expected when you was doing this was for them to appreciate it. But the least you got was they tail to kiss after the money was gone. You saying they vanished real quick, right? So just pay attention to what you're giving your money to, because look at this. Balling it up. Throwing the money away.
Mm-hmm. I heard jacks. Okay. Somebody could like older women, older men, or something like that. We got cougar here, assertive. We have romantic love affair coming out in the reverse. I got creativity, thrilling, and eerie. We have 2002 with unconditional love. Okay. Somebody literally could have called off something with a older person or something like that. I don't know, like, or somebody could have had their heart broken by someone older or something like that. Someone's into older people. Okay. Maybe because people, you could feel like, I don't know if you're a person that feels like people your age just can't do it for you or something like that. Maybe you feel like you're too advanced. They don't have enough to give you or something. I don't know what this is, but you could be born in October as well. Okay. We we have unconditional love, patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, taking action, and unconditional love. Okay. I really feel like someone had to choose themselves, if I be honest with you. Okay. Like, this is one of those situations. Someone could have even thought that they were in one of those, somebody could have thought that they were in a relationship that they wanted to be in, and then they could have found out that that was not really the lifestyle they wanted to choose. Okay. Something like that. Okay. I feel like somebody really saved themselves from something, to be honest with you. You could have been dealing with something that was simply sexual only. Okay. Maybe you got tired of this. Okay. Something like that. Okay. I don't know. You could be an older woman, very assertive. It says in silence, you find your power, claim your leadership role, and take action. You know where you go and what you do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. Yeah, I'm seeing somebody that really walked away from something. This could have been, some kind of, relationship that you've been in and off for a very long time or something like this. This could be, some kind of relationship where you just weren't getting the respect or value that you deserved. And I feel like somebody could have really walked away from this. And it could have been hard because it could have been just a thrill. You know how we humans, we like things that are a thrill. So, but I feel like somebody chose their self. 2002, unconditional love. 44 could be significant. 20 could be significant.
Yeah.
February 2nd, February 20th. Okay. It says it's time to put those cherished ideas into action. You will soon come into contact with the appropriate individuals, circumstances, and resources. Eventually, you will experience joy as well as brand new opportunities. Trust in the process. And I feel like these new opportunities are going to come because you're going to realize them. When you are in a low vibration, you can't even recognize a new opportunity. You look at everything negative. You can't really see the positive in anything. But when you change your mindset, you begin to see new opportunities, and, your creativity kicks in, and it's like, oh, well, look, I can, I'm seeing that for someone. I'm seeing someone taking action on this as well. You could have been in some kind of mental block, some kind of psychosis, some kind of fog, some kind of delusion, whatever it is, for a very long time, and you chose yourself. You chose to love yourself unconditionally. You may even have, someone could have like literally moved from state to state, from city to city or something like that, just to get clarity, just to get joy. Okay. Continue to trust in the process and continue to be assertive. I feel like, being assertive is very good for you.
Okay. Somebody wants you back.
Somebody wants you
Somebody
back.
wants you back. And again, I'm not about to go into it because I don't feel like talking about those kind of people. I just don't. So I'm going to talk about why they want you back. Because somebody, they want you back. All right. This is why, though. New Heights created a new identity and a vortex of creativity. That's why. Because I don't know what you stepped into. I don't know what you got going on. But for whoever this is resonating with, the reason why people want you back, because it's people. It's more than one person, right? It could be man and woman. But you got people that want you back in relationships. And the reason why is because you at a new height, which means that your frequency is different. New height, that's what happened. When you go to a new height, new level, people on the old level, they see all the reasons in the world why they didn't value you. When they had you in their presence, when you was on a level with them, when you were striving with them, they didn't value you. They didn't see it. And of course, they want you back. And then it says created a new identity. So I don't know, you could be wearing your hair different than you used to wear it. It's something, it's a big difference about you, right? And What am I comparing it to? I'm comparing it to the person that you were when you were with the people that want you back now.
Mm-hmm.
When you were with them, you were a certain way. Your identity, it was a certain way. Now, away from them, you at a new height and you have created a new identity. With a vortex of creativity, that's a lot of energy, right? And so you got to be careful about that because it's not always that people want you back. They want a way to trap down your energy. And you'll see that soon. If you ever been in a situation where you left a person, you got yourself together, and then you went back to them, you see how fast everything you gain goes away. You end right back up in that same place. Probably talking to God again, like, you know? So why does that happen to us? Why has that happened to many of us? It's about your energy. That's what we don't realize. To a narcissist, your energy is the most valuable substance that you have. So when you depleted of it, they kick you to the curb. You ever seen a narcissist treat you like that when your energy is gone?
After they stole your energy.
They steal your energy. Then when it's gone, they speak down on you and do all of that, right?
Like, nobody even noticed you until I came around.
Boom. So now, so far away from that energy where you're not being drained, you got a vortex of creativity, a brand new abundance about you. So of course, people want you back, but I feel like it's for the wrong reasons. If I be honest, because if you had me then, why would we be in a situation why you want me now? Think about it, right? But you gotta weigh it up. I mean, everybody's life is different. You gotta know, it could be some good people in there who just want to talk to you, but what I'm really picking up on is that you at a new height and you switch the style up. And because you switch the style up, it's different now. So you gotta weigh your options. You gotta choose wisely, you know?
This energy over here is way too powerful, way too lit, way too powerful. Okay? This is good. Like, if you are not in this energy and you are currently watching, this is the energy you need to be allowing to come in. This is the energy you need to be receiving. Okay? We got 808. I don't know. You could be a musician. Okay? Somebody could have some bars, some lyrics, some lines, some poetry, some flowetry, something. Somebody slick with their words, or you could just be a slick talker. You could be one of those people that, you got those words, I'm hearing wordplay, okay? Now, we got 808 coming out, and guess what this is? Ancestors.
808 is a drum machine,
Okay.
too.
Right.
Drums, ancestors.
We get the ancestors showing up. We also have trophies, too busy winning. Someone, I don't know, you could have been a very good athlete in school or something like that. Very athletic, very fit, okay? Someone could have a lot of trophies or something like that. Maybe you won some pageants, okay? This could be your child, okay? I don't know. It says open doors, and we got the key here. Okay? And then we have the bison coming back out again with abundance. Like, this energy is too lit, When this kind of energy is present, this is the energy where you have to be careful because you're going to have people who are intimidated by you when you have this much sauce around you. Like, when you have the keys, it says open door, okay? The door is unlocked, so just walk through it. Journey, passage, and access. You have the key, the golden ticket, like Willy Wonka, how you had to get the golden ticket to go? Yeah, someone has the golden ticket here, right? And this golden ticket is to wherever you want to go. That's the crazy part, The golden ticket is taking you to the next phase of your journey. It's not one destination. You don't just have to go to Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory. This golden ticket is giving you a key to unlock several doors, several compartments of yourself. We got too busy winning here. We got the bison with abundance, okay? Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. I really feel like, your gratitude and your prayer. I was saying this the other day. Someone is a prayer warrior.
Somebody said gratitude.
Yeah, there it is. Gratitude, show. Okay?
Resonating.
Period. It's something about your gratitude. You could be a person that is just so thankful for the smallest things because you have been without everything. And you have also had everything. So I feel like this makes you so grateful, and abundance is here for you. I like this energy. Too busy winning. You could be, I don't know if you collect something, candles, not trophies, candles, or trinkets or something from different places, shot glasses. Somebody's a collector of something. I see somebody collecting things. Okay. This could even be like ancestral things. I don't know. We got ancestors showing up: balance, power, struggle, force, violence, hope, ancestors, low vibration, and warnings.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Watch them.
So, and this makes sense because this card says that you're too busy winning. Someone's too busy winning that maybe you don't see something. When you're winning, like, truly good people, when they're winning, it's exciting and they expect the people around them to also feel excited because, that's natural, right? But what we fail to realize is it says pay attention, pay close attention to the people in your life, your surroundings, and your physical health. Don't freak out. It's just a warning to be careful and awake to avoid any further issues, right? Communicate clearly, and keep healthy boundaries, right? So I feel like when you're too busy winning, sometimes we expect everyone to be happy, right? But we have to understand that everybody's not genuinely happy when you're winning. Because, see, some people only happy when, you're winning, but they're still doing better than you. It comes with different, levels, right? So it's cool as long as, I'm still on this level and you're down here. So I feel like, just paying attention to those kind of things, those jokes that people say and they act like they playing, but they really meant what they said, you know. Pay attention to those kind of things. Warnings, low vibrations, people trying to drag you into conversations that are low, okay? People trying to entice you into violence, okay? Force, being forceful.
I want to say something. This card says ancestors and it says low vibrations. And I want to say this because Spirit had me hold it. Be careful about bragging on your ancestors when you're in a low vibration because what you actually doing is you bringing up the support of negative energy. This says ancestors low vibration. And I see people do it a lot, like, my ancestors this, I'm this, that, and the third, my ancestors. You really, what you doing is connecting with low vibrational ancestors, if they in your midst. If you connecting at all, that's what you connecting with. People that repeated the same energy you doing and failed at it. That's what happens. See, all ancestors ain't the ones you want in your energy. A lot of people don't know that because social media don't really teach us that. They just a lot of people scream about their ancestors, but trust me, and I just felt a shot up my right side. Trust me, it's some ancestors that you don't want around you.
You wouldn't want them around you if they were walking.
Some of them you don't want around you, right? So it's best just to,
That's real. You got some family you don't want to be around right now, right?
Yeah,
Ain't
some you don't want everything around you, right? So pay attention to what you're doing, because what you're doing is what you're attracting. Like, you calling on your ancestors, but you in the energy of anger, hate, malice, and all of that, Well, you gotta pay attention to what you're doing in your own world. All right.
Do you collect musical instruments? That's cool.
Okay. Out here, I got screenshot, getting evidence, proof, and facts. Again, we just gonna focus slightly on that. So you got a person in your energy, and maybe they have screenshots. Be careful of the messages that you sending, because sometimes people will hold that against you. You sent the message 3 years ago. They'll regurgitate it now that you walking in your stride and try to make it relevant, like as if you sent the last week or something, knowing that it's from years ago. That's what people do with screenshots, proof, facts, all of that, right? Somebody reaching. All right, and this right here is a This 3 card spread is for the mature. All right. It says trust the process, harbor of peace and expectation. So what Spirit is saying to you is that even though this process may not, it may be hard at times, you being called to a place where you need to maintain your peace and your expectation of what's to come. And that's mature right there. Like, because it could be a lot of things going on around you, but I feel like God showed you better. So you know better. You know a little more. Even the people that may accuse you, you know a little more than them. Some of the people that's just in your midst, maybe God has shown you a little bit more than them, right? So you've been called to maintain your peace and move with a certain expectancy. It's called faith. Trust the process. You got to trust the process 202 right here at the bottom. Trust the process. And then you got trust the process right here. Divine timing. I'm at a place in my life where I've come to believe that. And if you don't believe it, maybe it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work for you. Be patient, for some things take time to fully manifest in your life. And that's real. As above, so below. Sometimes I even used to hear it in church. I used to hear the Hermetic principles in church. I just didn't know what I was hearing. Because you know what I used to hear the pastor say? When you ask God for a blessing, he release it. You just got to receive it. That's the Hermetic principles. As above, so below. Meaning, what you want is seeking you. Yeah. It's about alignment. It's about being receptive to it. And being realistic. You can't aim a miss. Like, you can't be trying to bring in something that you know. A lot of people, they want to bring in things that they don't want in their heart. In their heart, they don't really want what they say they manifesting, so it doesn't work. Yeah. But once you really align with something, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna show up in your life in a way where you might not even notice it. It just be there. Like, for instance, what we doing now. Things manifest when you align yourself. Abundance manifest. You know, they say a wealth transfer was taking place, right, in the overall collective. And you know, you got some foolish heads in the collective sitting around like, I ain't got no money yet. Not that kind of wealth, buddy. Like, you know, it's a different kind of wealth transfer.
Spiritual deposits, baby.
Right. What I'm doing right now is a wealth transfer, if you know how to receive it.
Okay.
For people in a position that we in or others, what they're doing is transferring wealth. This is a wealth transfer. People tapping in is a big old wealth transfer. This is a bigger energy than just me. It's a great big old energy. It's so big, in fact, people don't know what to do with it. Everybody running around.
Because iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. And we're going to be okay. Because, see, I'd rather have a collective full of people that's just running around and this because they active. That means that people only need a little bit of guidance. And that's the good place to be, as opposed to a bunch of people who sleep. Yeah. Right? So don't ever look down on yourself or frown down on yourself about what you know. If you active, you in it. There's always room to get it right. Have a heart of repentance. Right? And for God's sake, what the boy said yesterday, he said a new term. What that boy say? He said people run around with spiritual OCD.
He did. He said
feeling like they gotta be so clean and feeling like they gotta be so worthy and boxing themselves out of any liberty, of any blessings because of spiritual OCD. Yeah. Right? Run through one more. Sound is in the music. Yes. Yes, it is. We love music over here, music lovers.
Okay.
And sharing makes you a billionaire. Well,
Period.
okay then.
I don't know. Somebody wanted to put you in a third party situation so bad. I just been refusing to talk about it, and it just keeps showing up. But, I really feel like somebody's smarter than this, because self realization came out 2020. You could have perfect vision. You could have had LASIK surgery. You could wear glasses or something like that. Okay. But we got love triangle, third party, multiple lovers, choices. Okay. Maybe you have a lot of choices. Maybe you had to make a choice, okay? Something like that. I don't know. We got self-realization, moderation, patience, flowing, manifestation, gateway, taking action, okay? We got the black bear and guardian. Someone guarded you from something. I feel like you had protection that was not here, okay? I feel like really your angels really protected you from something, some kind of situation where, I just feel like it was messy. Maybe it wasn't a love triangle. Maybe it was just a gossip circle, a group, an organization, whatever it is. I feel like, there was, some kind of tie that people tried to tie you in, something people tried to tie you into, and some kind of self-realization came here. I'm not a part of this. I don't belong to this. This is not me, okay? Something like that. It says you're in for a lucky break, but, on elemental beings, we don't believe in luck, but what we do believe in is divine timing,
Bing, bing,
We
bing.
believe that, according to God's plan, everything happens exactly how it should, when it should, and it unfolds how it should. So, divine timing, it may come as happy news, experience, new opportunity, a new acquaintance, okay? You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. It's not a coincidence, but a gift from fate. And it's crazy. Me and my husband were speaking about that earlier, with our own divine connection and how, God really put us together in a way where, it was just meant to be, right? That's just how it went. And, you could be having things like this happen where things are just happening. They're coming together and it's just, it's not coincidence. It's the Most High's hand in it, they say faith and work. And I feel like somebody's been having faith and putting in the work. And so that yields results. Okay. We got the black bear here with guardian. Gentle and wise protector. Give me your confidence and your power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. You could be becoming more confident in your power, your magic, right? Maybe you were scared when you heard the word magic, right? Because you don't want to be labeled a witch. You don't want to be labeled dark and negative. Well, magic is not a good or a bad thing. It's how you use the magic, right? Because I use my magic to heal, to help, to enlighten, things like that. So, when you're using your magic the right way, it's healing, okay? I don't know.
People have been using magic since the beginning of time.
Okay. Right? Yeah. So, you could have seen a cub walking across the street or something. You could live in a very rural country area. Okay, something like that.
I want to say something to you. Mia is gorgeous. You know what my advice to you is? You're in a battle that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube and just listen, right, to the Book of Enoch. If you could get this Bible. It's the Ethiopian Bible, right? And it's going to be introducing itself to the world over the course of this year, because the King James is exhausted. I'm not saying the King James is. I don't have nothing to say about nothing because I'm not a spiritual authority. But what I will say is the Ethiopic text. It helps you connect the dots with spirituality and Christianity, and how they really both coexist together. These are texts that was hidden away. Been around. Yep. Hold it up
I
again.
don't think we can.
Oh, yeah, they might trip.
Just inboxes. We can't.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna say we advertising.
Yeah, you can inbox us though. But yeah, it's the Ethiopic text. It really helps you. It really helps you understand so much that went on, so much that's going on. It just understand. It actually it awakens your magic in you in the most righteous way. Like, me myself, I don't worship deities. I never have. People think I do, but I never been into that. I worship the Most High.
That's it.
That's the only thing, right?
That's all.
But I was at that place where I was stepping across that threshold, going from one place to another. And the people and all throughout the Ethiopic text, you see people that have miraculous gifts. They be on other realms. They be it's just ill how much was hidden from us, So yeah. All right. Um, we got inboxes. Like you might want inboxes, right? Inboxes. Miss Mia. All right, so you got girl fight. All right, again, we ain't gonna focus on that too strong, but it's out here. You got a girl fight, arguments, physical fight at war, competing. I really feel like this could be some dudes though, right? Because, I mean, men be fighting, having little girl complexes, going to war over little stupid stuff. That's a girl fight. If two men go to war over something that they could really talk about, that's really a girl fight. Even though people get hurt often, it still comes from a very emotional driven place, right? So that could be out here, or it could be just a girl fight, argument. But the reason why this is out here and people want to fight with you is because you you have higher wisdom on the men and new experiences. This provokes people. It really does. When you go to a higher wisdom and you on the men, meaning you healing. On the men means everything is coming back together. The things that you lost, they coming back together. Even new things resurfacing in you that may have been lost in you. And then this higher wisdom that you're dealing with, people become envious of that within its own and want to argue with you. This is where the argument's at, right? And sometimes, just to address this, you might not even be on the phone arguing with nobody, but sometimes people argue with you without saying a word to you. They literally be in the background in your energy, gathered up with other people and arguing, and you have an opinion. I don't know who they think they is, right? It's all of this is there, right? So nevertheless, you on the men, you operating from a place of higher wisdom, and you having new experiences, right? And I just feel like this could be provoking. This could provoke. It's competing at war. It's provoking competition, hidden It's not you. You may not even be competing with anybody, but this higher wisdom you carry, these new experiences, is provoking competition in other people. So the best way to deal with it is ignore it.
Yeah.
Real simple. It ain't even no whole dandy randy to it, right?
Starve it.
You don't even gotta do nothing but starve it, right? Ignore it. Starve it. Starve it. It take two people to argue. It take two people to compete. It take two people to have a physical fight, and it take two people to argue. At least two people. So in all of these, right, all of them is on this card. If you avoid it and don't respond to none of that, the energy has to go back to where it's trying to be pushed from. That's why you see people self-destructing from within, because people waking up. We all waking up now. We all learning from one another. A wise man and a wise woman once had to tell me, boy, look, leave that shit alone. Turn your back on it, right? And once I was able to take that wisdom from the right person, because wisdom gotta still come from the right person. Like, the misapplication of wisdom, we live in a world full of that. And okay, thank you, Spirit. The misapplication of wisdom is a person that ain't went through something and they try to tell you about it. that's misapplication. Like, we need wisdom from people that went through what they talk about. Something like, So here you go on the men, and just avoid the arguments. They out there. Just avoid. Don't be at war with nobody. Don't be competing with nobody. And definitely don't let nobody put you in a situation where you gotta fight. Because there's a lot of demons that like to scratch up pretty faces. And I ain't talking about only in the physical. People want to leave spiritual scratches on you, spiritual scars on you. There's people walking around, okay, spirit. People want to leave you with things that you can't contend with later.
Okay.
Spiritual, sexually transmitted demons, sexually transmitted diseases. All of these things are what people have with them. And we live in a dishonest world. So if you know that God is working with you and all of these things, weave all that. Please, please do. Just weave it.
Okay. And so real, I was sitting here thinking about, when you were a child and somebody be like, you want to fight me? Step over here, provoking, right? Because the spirit of provoke is going to provoke you to make the first move. So
you can be charged.
So you can be charged because, to whom much is given, much is required. And the more you know, the more you are responsible for. So.
In the spirit realm, if a person can provoke you in the spirit realm, do you know like that charge it actually goes to you, and it becomes an invitation into your energy? Like a response is an invitation in the spirit realm. Why you think people who got wicked spirits always trying to bait you in and trigger you? Because when you respond, it's an invitation. It's literally, people invite spirits into their world all day by getting in unnecessary arguments and jargon with people. And you ever notice when a person carrying a real negative spirit, they real picky and forceful with you. They want you to, you know what I'm saying? They be real. That's because the spirit needs engagement. To move further into your energetic field, it needs another invitation. Engagement is an invitation.
Yeah.
Especially when you open up and get mad, that's when baneful spirits really pour into your energy, because it's an invitation. Your emotions is saying, when your emotions is wide open, that's why witches try to get you. They get your heart open, because when your emotions is open, you don't have a defense against spiritual things. You beckon them. Okay. It's like, come on in. You know how you ever yell at somebody and they be laughing at you? That's spiritual. That's because them spirits know that the more you yell, the more that they get in ground into your energetic field.
Heard. Yeah, they real.
Yeah, they real flames.
They're real.
Flames.
They're real. Somebody was like, is they even real? They're real, baby. Real hot. Well.
We about to back it out. I was lit up too. Y'all mess around, had me here at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you can't let everybody touch you, Some people want to touch you so they can transfer things to you. Negativity. Hey, and that was your message. Accept or reject it. But keep your spirit protected. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys for rocking with us through another live. Thank you for your time, your comments, your energy. If you would like to be a blessing to the channel, all of our information is listed on our page. If you would like to contact us, y'all know how to reach us, okay? If you would like to book a personal reading with us, they're free. We do ask for a donation for our time, but other than that, holla at us. If you enjoyed the message, make sure you hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, hit all so that you're notified when we go live with more messages like this one. guys get your rest, okay? If you got some cucumbers, lay some cucumbers on them eyes tonight. I ain't got none. I'ma just be puffy in the morning. Okay? Hey, hey, hey. And today was a good day.